Guys, ready? Are you ready for the review? You've been asking for like 2 weeks straight. I've been holding back. I'm holding back. But now I can tell you that I am definitely in love with this game. I'm going to tell you that it's definitely worth your hard-earned money. I'm going to tell you that maybe waiting for the season pass, because you could always add that later, might be a good option. Let's look into this. So when I initially looked at this, I went, huh, some choices. But then I went, oh, there's a lot of choices. You have a ton of choices just out of the box. This is a preview copy. This is not the full release. So, who knows? Tomorrow when I open up Surviving Mars, get the full release, hopefully, sometime during the day, I might have more. But better yet, here's the awesome part. This stuff can be modded, right? You can create a sponsor as a mod. Right now on Reddit, there's an idea about a challenge. You could possibly make a mod be a build challenge, which will be amazing given what I do on Twitch. That you could put it in the game and then it confines you to the challenge that you've agreed upon. You're not tempted, or you don't accidentally, oh, I forgot that step, which happens in some challenges. I'm thinking Sims, right? But you have choice. Looking at these guys, like your commander profile right above my head, these change the game every single time. They change the game. They change how you play. They change your thought process. This is just what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, random, right? I got that right. I can count today, right? That's 4. Yeah, 10. That's 10 different ways. But if you just pick random, you don't know what you're going to get. So if you random everything, every new game, aside from your colony, can be completely different from anything you've expected. The replayability factor of this game is, in my opinion, through the roof. I have, if I look at Steam over there, I have 108 hours in this game. It has consumed my weeks since I've gotten it. I got it 2 weeks ago. I got it 2 weeks ago yesterday. Launches tomorrow. So when you see this, it's today. I've had it for 2 weeks. That's 108 hours in 2 weeks. Take away the fact that this is my job, right? I play games. I'm playing it after stream. I was streaming Witcher, and then I would end stream, and I would immediately play this game. As a broadcaster who takes a hobby, and then suddenly the hobby is now what you do, where you play video games all the day, what do you do when you want to relax? I felt compelled and the urge to play this game. If I did not play this game, I wasn't quite happy. All of that choice. I'm going to load up a game. That choice makes the replayability just completely random and different.
Resources are low. A colonist has died. Cable
This is a colony that we've been building on Twitch. we have a ton of stuff going on in this build, but I wanted to open this up to you for a few things. This tech tree is randomly generated. I have not experienced the same linear progression in at least 5 different playthroughs. This one is by far my most complete. I believe if we look at the save file, it's going to say something like 50 hours played in this one save file. But all of this is random. I have not seen this in the same spot. I've seen it elsewhere, early, fairly early. I haven't seen it where I couldn't get it within a couple of, souls, right? Like, this one is usually fairly early. I've seen it here because I've grabbed it first. This one is your less fuel, right? So this tree is dynamic. This tree changes everything you do in your game, because you have something that is quick, like this mega dome over here, or not mega dome, but the oval dome. This oval dome allowed us to start our first dome as an oval. Nobody else had this. And everybody would jump into the channel and be like, how did you get this? And I would point out, it's this breakthrough. So the game is different. It's vastly different. So let's talk about the positives. Replayability is through the roof. You could set all the things to random, or you can pick and choose. You could play through different mysteries. You can play as different profiles. You could play as different sponsors. You could pick an infinite amount of landing spots. Although it is really truly finite, but that would be a lot of playtime. Right? Who are we kidding? I don't have that kind of time to play everything on Mars. Maybe that's going to be a mission. Somebody's going to play it. That's going to be what they're going to do for the next 5 years. That would be awesome. I'd love to do it, but there's so much more I got to play too, right? So, that being said, this soundtrack is killer. Bravo. The soundtrack alone, like, take my money. Please. Please take my money. Killer. The mechanics, there we go. The mechanics, I would like a better camera. I mean, that would be like my own, but we'll mod that, which, back to the positive. City Skylines did not start out as pretty as it looks now. It did not start out with road anarchy. It did not start out with more beautification. It did not start out with plop the growables, right? That stuff came over time. It did not plop out with gorgeous building models from countless content creators and modelers and modders, right? I'm looking forward to seeing what the modding community does with this game. There's a ton of potential on what we can do with this game. Things that I would like to have fixed could be done with a mod, and I don't have a list of things that have to be fixed. As it stands, this game, completely playable. This game works like a charm. It's beautiful. It pushes all of the right buttons for a builder manager simulation. There's story to it, or at least there's the challenge to it. This has all of the right pieces. Things I would like to see. And these, by no means, I've got my copy ordered. By no means are a deal breaker. I would really encourage Domes being dynamic. Give me a tube. Give me some sort of transit. Make people be able to live in one and work in another. Although that's part of the struggle, don't discount the fact that you have to balance your dome, right? But it would make something like this probably a little bit more feasible, where you can have a city center that has, say, a great museum of ancient history of Mars, let alone Earth, right? All of these people are descendants from people that came from Earth, so maybe there's a museum. Eventually, you have no more Earthborn on your planet. So how do they know about their ancestors, right? But maybe you have a different type of industry. You have offices. Maybe instead of going from just surviving to thriving, what's the next step? My question is, where do we go from here? I've beat the mystery. I'm just building and making stuff pretty, just like I do in City Skylines. Right? I'm just making stuff look good. And I'm thinking artistically as opposed to, can I defeat this challenge? But that's probably all going to come from mods, at least early on, because that's how City Skylines was. There's no harm in that, because modders do an excellent job of pushing a game further, bringing it into the next year, possibly even the next decade, right? But a structure to allow people to go to and from, maybe some long-range transit where you have a stop here and a stop here and a stop here, and then they can go from here to here to here and then walk to other places. In chat a couple days ago, I was looking at this landscape, and I said, wouldn't it be cool if our transportation building was a spire building that stuck out the dome, much like these guys do, but in it was storage for our necessities, and that we could toggle it just similar to a universal depot? Where we can say, don't store this stuff. So not only is it transit for your goods, but it's also transit for your people. Get them moving. That would be handy. However, I will admit, we did try to have food growing here and here and here, and have it shipped out to here. Now, it worked reasonably well with the transport rovers up until a point. Now, I understand some of this is going to get fixed. In fact, I think there might have been a push. The rovers are supposed to go charge, but they would just run out of juice. But again, that's part of the micromanagement. It's part of the management part of the game. We don't want to strip down the game. We want to improve the game. And these are decisions that we have to make as players and game designers. What part is the game and what part is not. Other things that I would like improved. This auto popping up. I understand that celebrities generate money and money gets put on here, or like a structure like the dome. But this gets a little ridiculous. Maybe here, instead of all of the people consuming this bottom like pin area, there's a people box. But again, this is also playable on multiple platforms. So not only computers, Mac, Linux, PC, but Xbox and PlayStation. So we have to make consideration on how are those folks going to play. I have a mouse. Now, when I play with a controller, I do have a cursor. But maybe something to clean this up. It gets a little messy. Maybe there's a boop, rovers. Now, this could be a mod, possibly. You know, you have a button for rovers and it lists. Button for domes and it lists. Button for people and it lists. And then stuff that you've pulled out specifically, so that way if you're a rover, you want to send it to go do something, you have your 2 rovers that you're working. Go scan this, go scan that, while you set your other rovers on a transport route. Take this stuff from here and put it here. It's a thought. It's an idea. And then people, notable citizens, pop up. Like, this is your genius. This is your celebrity. I can't tell why. I mean, maybe they have, like, the person that's behind me. This is a celebrity, Martian-born enthusiast, survivor, workaholic. This is a party animal, hippie, genius, coward, Martian-born. This is a saint, a nerd, an enthusiast, a Martian-born, and a workaholic. So I have no idea what is really the common thread. They all seem to me to be random. I mean, the status: resting in apartments, resting in smart complex, resting in smart complex, resting in smart complex, visiting diner. None of them seem to be in dire need. Like, oh my god, I'm out there suffocating. That would be probably my biggest, and it's not a complaint, it's just maybe we tackle the UI a little different. But this game right here, I can't tell you how long I'm going to play it. I'm still itching to play. I haven't played City Skylines in a month. I'm itching to play City Skylines. I cannot tell you how long I'm going to play this and Cities and Planet Coaster and all the other builders I play. I want to finish The Witcher 3 on my journey. I will tell you that you will not regret buying this game if you are a fan of any sort of builder. If you've loved Banished, if you loved City Skylines, RimWorld, this has a lot of elements of RimWorld in it, at least RimWorld-esque. Not so much as the evil, like, you know, wildlife that likes to come and hijack your stuff, or people invading your space, or at least I haven't encountered that yet. Who knows? There's still, in my 108 hours, there's still probably another, I don't know, 800 of like different combinations. I'm going to tell you to buy this. I'm going to tell you that you're going to like it. If you can't spring for it, sales happen, right? Be patient. Save up some pennies. I save up pennies. There's bound to be a sale. this is a really good, solid game. The game is solid. It runs great. I've had some FPS issues, but I also had almost 5,000 units running all over the place when you put the 4,000 people and the almost 1,000 drones on top of each other. I've rebalanced this game. I've split people from one dome to another dome so they can't reproduce to like get my population from not exploding. But that's all stuff that we as people that play this game are going to learn. The only I had a list and I went off the cuff because I feel it's more genuine. I don't think there's any other thing other than buildings. The buildings are limited, but this is also the first version of this game. This is also a pre-release version of this game. I would like to see different types of industry. I don't need them manufacturing everything. Jobs seem to be few and far between. Not everybody needs a job. Or if I were to put everybody in a job, I would have so much food or so much other things. We're out of metal because I spent it all making bio robots. So that a way they wouldn't make new Martians. And we're making 50 every day. So that will skyrocket. I don't need... I need to balance. This is the balancing act. I turned my machine parts off to make my metals rise. So this is a part of the game where you're balancing all of this stuff. But it feels like if I were to live on Mars, my job would be make an electronic, make a machine part, grow some food. There's got to be, well, I guess science in the laboratory, right? Do some research. But when you get out of the research, they're not going to research anything. I believe this was addressed in a post somewhere. I'd have to dig it up. I can research this in a day, and in 5 days have what? 10 billion, right? So for somebody who likes sandbox like I do for City Skylines, that would be great. But I think at some point it gets a bit ridiculous. I haven't used a rocket to come from Earth to supply my colony, with the exception of we were trying to figure out if I really had a food shortage, and then I wanted to make bio robots in large quantities. But the diversity of my buildings, this comes with time, right? There's only so many skins. This is initial release. It has the problem that cities had, but it's not really a problem because it gives room for us to add things to the game and truly make it our own, right? Everybody that worked really, really hard on this game did an amazing job. The aesthetic is killer. The dust, I mean, look at that. That's beautiful. It looks dirty. It looks It looks grimy, right? It looks like it's been on Mars. It looks like it's been in this big rust-filled world. I dig these guys. This is an amazing thing. Like, you don't even see this on stream. But look, like, this is brilliant. All of this is brilliant. I would love variety. Make things truly unique. But that's gonna come in time. So I can't, like... You can't be mad at a game for version 1 not having variety. How many buildings are you gonna make? Do you want the game finished or not? I'm gonna tell you, if you like anything to build, manage, or simulate, this game's for you. If you don't like any of that, this game's not for you. Am I gonna buy it? Yes. I'm gonna buy a couple of copies. Some of you guys are gonna get lucky. You're gonna get it in chat. Be able to win it. Or hand it out to a couple of friends. Who knows? Of course, everybody in chat's a friend anyway. Doesn't matter. I love all of you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me in my journey. Thank you guys for supporting Surviving Mars and Paradox, because this is a company that we've been playing their games forever, right? Especially in my own community. It's rock solid. It's a solid product. It's a solid game. It's got enough game systems to keep me going. I'm thinking, how can I solve this problem? With City Skylines, it's how can I make this look better? How can I make this real? How can I make this function better? This is, how can I make this work better? How can I balance this aspect? How can I make pretty things in the confines of the hexagon, right? How can I make vistas look good on Mars? The photo mode is superb. We've spent time in this guy on stream. Boom. I'm gonna say you're gonna love it. I love it. You're probably gonna love it too. Definitely worth the money. If you got City Skylines, you got a discount, I believe, until the 31st of this month. If you're strapped for cash, hang out for a sale. Definitely put this on your wish list. Good luck, guys. If you're trying to get a copy in any giveaway that's gonna happen relatively soon, you guys are badass and amazing. Paradox, and it's Haramite, right? Haramart? I can't even say the name because I can't even, I don't, yeah. Thank you for making an amazing product, amazing game, having an amazing, very interactive Twitter. You guys rock. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to play this game ahead of time. Thank you for giving a ton of people this opportunity to play this game ahead of time. It's really been nice meeting new people and new faces that don't normally frequent channels or directories that I frequent. It's truly brought me further into the environs. I've been pulled out of my shell. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Have a great one. If this review was helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget you can check me out on Twitch 5 days a week, typically over at twitch.tv/EZILII. Until next time, friends, have an awesome journey.